Thank you all for watching the Hillbilly News Network, the #1 news network in Kentucky that doesn't give you any crap. Lord, look at that pile of crap. But what we do is go out and find beautiful things like this and dig them up out of the ground. Look at this beautiful root right here. Nice. I'll show you all the beauties of Harlan County, especially when we go riding up there at the Black Mountain Off-Road Park. These are a lot of pictures right here from the park, the horse and all the beauties. And here is the riding schedule. So come on out, ride with me in 2025. I guarantee you we'll have a blast. Man, you're not going to believe what you're about to see. I found a bunch of bad cops working inside the Fulton County Jail down there in Atlanta, Georgia. You ain't going to believe this. You talking about, I'm going to let this bike get by. You talking about people who don't deserve to wear the badge. Right here is quite a few. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of stuff going on down there. Check it out.
So I'm going to. I will hurry. Sorry. She put that shit right there. Sorry, bitch. Stand up. Stand up. I don't give up. Stand there. Hold your face. Don't. Do not. Hey, I choke folk. I choke folk. So I advise you to cooperate. Hold your face before you lose your breath. The choice is yours. The choice is yours.
Okay, I got it. Oh, now she's trying to pass out, really?
Oh, now she's trying to pass out, really?
Really? Come on, get this. She acting like she don't passed out. Stand up. Come on, stand up.
Ow, it hurts. Stop, it hurts.
Stand up. I need you to stand in there. Stand in there.
Stop, it hurts.
Look straight.
That's an x-ray machine.
I don't feel good. I don't feel good.
You feel like you want to throw up?
I can't breathe.
You feel like you want to throw up?
I can't breathe.
You got it. Huh? Okay, come on. Come on.
Ow, it hurts.
Stand up. Get on the scale. Come on, step.
I can't breathe.
Step on the scale.
I can't breathe.
Step the other foot up there. Come on, put your other foot up there. Stand on the scale.
I can't breathe.
Stand with both feet on the scale. Put both feet on the scale, ma'am. Miss Holden. 98.5. Gotta get the cuffs off. You gotta get those cuffs off and you gotta put this on.
I can't breathe.
Way to go, man.
Hopefully this is the last one.
Whatever you do, leave her. We're closed. We can't take no more. Chastain, he jinxed you.
Chastain definitely jinxed you. I'm gonna tell him. Please, Juju.
Right, this white foamy spit. I don't know, it's foamy spit. Look all thick.
Don't let you die. You just keep breathing, in and out, and you won't die. Yes, you can.
As long as you're talking saying you can't breathe, you're breathing.
Right.
As if you couldn't breathe, you wouldn't be talking.
Please, Eric. Please, Eric.
Ready for us.
Please, Eric. Please. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Alrighty then. Well,
See you next time.
good luck, Chuck.
Behind these concrete walls and razor wire is a lifestyle foreign to most.
On the various floors of the Fulton jail, there are small offices adjacent to the housing pods. A female staffer occupied one of those offices, but she's not alone. We intentionally cut the video where you see a hand of an inmate extended to the mouth of detention officer Kawana Jenkins. That ended with Ms. Jenkins getting locked up.
Fulton County detention officer remains behind bars accused of inappropriate and criminal conduct. Right now, 23-year-old Jesse Scott is in custody at the North Annex Jail up in Alpharetta.
The commotion shown in a post on Instagram led to an investigation of a Fulton Sheriff's detention officer who, according to Sheriff Pat Labatt's office, engaged in some kind of personal back and forth with an individual named Rayonda Wynn. The female officer in the gray shirt identified as Shaniqua Bodden. It wouldn't be easy to see, but the two women spat on each other during the fracas, according to an Atlanta police report. This incident stemmed from Miss Bodden showing up at an event with a temporary protection order she wanted to serve on Miss Wynn. Police ultimately arrested both women. Within hours, the officer was fired, joining several other Fulton Sheriff's officers who have taken the wrong photographs, mugshots, from the same department.
The Fulton County Commissioner says the revelation that a rap video was shot inside the jail is evidence the facility needs better supervision.
I be running from 12 like I'm on a treadmill. I be running from 12 like I'm on a treadmill.
Chairman of the Fulton County Commission says enough is enough. District 2 Commissioner Bob Ellis says he has lost confidence in Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt following a series of deaths and problems at the Fulton County Jail.
Scott lied and told inmates he was a sheriff's deputy and received $4,000 to provide contraband to inmates. The accusations disturbed Vice Chairman Ellis, who says the avalanche of problems at the jail stopped with one man.
Oh, I'm glad the individual was terminated, as he should have been, right? But at some point in time, you look at sort of the total picture of things and say, hey, there's a pattern of concern here. These aren't isolated incidents. We provided significant funding, and there's not been returned.
In Atlanta, family fears her loved one could be killed before he gets his day in court. The inmate's sister says her brother is being extorted and threatened at knife point by gang members inside the Fulton County Jail.
We're talking about a Fulton County Sheriff's deputy arrested earlier today and accused of trying to smuggle contraband to a defendant in the case. This deputy, Akiva Stanley, in this mugshot here, in the past hour, the Fulton County Sheriff announced she has been fired. And we have learned she was previously fired from the Atlanta Police Department when an investigation found she was unfit to serve as an officer.
The deputy is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Christian Eppinger by communicating with him on Instagram, visiting his cell, and trying to smuggle items to him. Now, you may recall Eppinger is accused of shooting an Atlanta police officer last year. He remains behind bars tonight, and the deputy is too. Akiba Stanley took an oath to serve and protect, but officials say her track record as an officer is now criminal. Eppinger is accused of shooting a veteran Atlanta police officer several times last year while he was being taken into custody. He's also a defendant in the YSL RICO case awaiting trial.
Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat tells me they started investigating after seeing a detainee here at the Fulton County Jail with lacerations and puncture wounds. He tells me that inmate actually tried hiding those injuries until someone spoke up. Sheriff Labat says they are fortunate that inmate is still alive and that survived this case, but that's what led them to really look at surveillance video. I asked him if he could share that surveillance video with us. He told us since this case is under investigation, they are not able to release it just yet, but explains that it shows detention officer Reynard Trotman giving detainees access to an area where they assaulted another inmate.
We've been in lockstep with asking for a security audit, asking for technical assistance. So it was not a surprise.
Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat says the announcement of a DOJ investigation is the result of years of issues that he himself acknowledges.
New details tonight in the case of a former Fulton County jailer. Monique Clark now faces federal charges after an interaction which in the video appears to show them strangling an inmate. As our Joe Ripley reports tonight, this comes during an ongoing federal investigation into the Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Hold your faith before you lose your breath. A federal grand jury returned an indictment Tuesday charging Monique Clark with excessive force. The charge stems from an incident on June 5th at the North Fulton County Jail in Alpharetta, caught on camera.
Everything that happens, law enforcement and non-law enforcement, is subject to those cameras everywhere, and they see whatever happens, and oftentimes what doesn't happen.
Former Fulton County Assistant DA Daryl Cohen, who is not linked to this case, says cameras don't always show the entire story. Video inside the jail shows Clark placing a chokehold on a detainee in handcuffs for about 11 seconds. Once that hold's released, the detainee collapses to the ground and loses consciousness. The detainee was taken to the hospital. The sheriff's office fired Clark after that incident, and the Fulton DA's office charged them with aggravated assault and violation of oath by a public officer. The Department of Justice's Office of the Inspector General, along with the FBI, are all involved in this federal case. However, both agencies declined to comment any further on this indictment. Cohen says the defense for the ex-jailer could focus on what led up to the incident. The defense could also argue Clark felt threatened, needed a mental evaluation, and had suffered enough to this point.
I would argue as a defense lawyer representing the defendant that my client has been punished enough because A, they've been fired. Their whole career at the age of 31 is down the tubes.
The state opened an investigation into Clark as soon as allegations were reported to the Georgia Peace Officer Standards and Training Council. Post suspended Clark's state law enforcement certification, which currently makes them ineligible to serve as a sworn officer in the state of Georgia. Post says Clark can still serve in a non-sworn position, such as a records office or the front desk. In Alpharetta, Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
This morning, a Fulton County detention officer is behind bars and off the job. He's accused of using excessive force. 25-year-old DeMarcus Watley is now facing a dozen charges, including aggravated assault and cruelty to inmates. The sheriff's office says he used excessive force on 3 inmates in an incident that happened last weekend. Watley was just hired in March, but now he has been fired and is being held without bond.
The Justice Department released today the findings of a nearly 2-year investigation into the Fulton County Jail.
Now, this report found that Fulton County and the Sheriff's Office failed to protect their detainees. Their officers often use excessive force. They subjected people to unsanitary and dangerous living conditions.
We reached out to the Sheriff's Office to get a comment, but they declined, citing an active investigation. Active investigation.
So tell me, what do you think? That's crazy. That many bad cops down there arrested and thrown inside that jail. I wonder who's the cop that's arresting their own. You know, that's rough on them, I guess. Anyway, guys, make sure you comment. Tell me what you think. Like the video and make sure you subscribe. Tickle that little bell. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.